Yes, hello and good morning and welcome back to this live stream coverage of the BUCS Long Course Swimming Championships 2019 here at Ponds Forge International Sports Centre in Sheffield. This is day 2, which will begin with session 2. Plenty of sessions to bring you this afternoon, and of course this morning it's going to be a whole day of action ahead of a whole weekend of action. BUCS are also delighted to welcome your sponsors, Cookery, Outgoing, Camp America and Ashaway. If you want to get involved at any time during the day, if you're watching on YouTube, just leave a comment in the comments section, or on Twitter you can use the hashtag BUCS Nationals. Action getting underway at precisely 9 a.m. So one of the championship sponsors there, Camp America, they're going to be attending all weekend. They were here yesterday evening also. Opportunities to spend the summer as a swimming teacher or lifeguard at one of their many camps across the US, from California to New York. That's right from the West Coast to the East Coast. Also offering long course swimmers the chance to win free Camp America experience and a free trek around the US. Attend to the competition, speak to them today or get on the website. Again, this is the 100th year of British University Sports, so a pretty special year. The day session 2 this morning is going to get underway with the women's 200 metre freestyle, followed by the men's, and then a whole plethora of 50 metre, 100 metre, and we'll finish the session with some 400 metre individual medleys. Again, that's going to get it underway from 9 a.m, not long to wait. So if you are just joining us, welcome back again this morning to Ponds Forge in Sheffield International Sports Centre for day 2 and session number 2 we're going to begin with here at the BUCS Long Course Championships 2019. Fantastic evening of action last night if you joined us. If not, plenty more to come today. 3 sessions today, 2 sessions of heats, then a session of finals to end the evening a little bit later on. And we're going to be getting underway very shortly with event number 201. That's the women's 200 metre freestyle. 3 heats to begin with. So we are going to be starting with heat number 6. The reason we do this, we have the 3 fastest heats first in each event, and then we'll go back to the earlier heats a little bit later on. So you are just joining us. This is heat number 6. We've not had 5 heats already. We are starting with heat 6. And from lane 0, Sarah Colin Bath. Lane 1, Safie Hall Gloucester. Lane 2, Georgie Milton Nottingham. In 3, Izzy Griffiths Birmingham. In 4, Georgia Coates Borough Swimming. In 5, Candice Hall Loughborough. In 6, Hannah Featherstone Stirling. In 7, Abigail Whiting Sheffield Hallam. In 8, Lucy Fairbanks Manchester Met. And in 9, Sophie Peggs Warwick. So 4 lengths of the pool to complete. So again, I will have 3 heats. These will have the 3 fastest heats first, so heat 6, 7 and 8. And these are the girls you'll expect to see in the final a bit later. And Georgia Coates, the only girl to come in with under 2 minutes, a 1:59.8 on the entry time. And leading the way through the first 100, as you'd imagine. Then lane 5, 6, Candice Hall, Hannah Featherstone. Already 3.42 seconds through the first half. And Georgia Coates looking to be extending that lead already here in heat number 6 on this second morning of action. After the women's 200s, we'll move on to the men's 200s. And then we've got plenty of 50 metre backstroke and breaststroke action for you. So Coates will be looking to set a fastest time possible under 2 minutes. Would pretty much guarantee her place in the final. Again, the entry time 1:59.8, going to be incredibly close to that. In fact, just 800ths outside. Candice Hall, second place throughout the entire 200 metres, 2:04.69, and Izzy Griffiths just comes through by 3/10 to take it from Hannah Featherstone. And again, you can check on the BUCS website. We've all got the live timings. And when they're available, also the start list for the finals a little bit later. But plenty of heats to go before we get on to that. And then we move on to heat number 7. From lane 0 will be Lara Reid of Oxford. Teammate Ella Corby in 1. Alice Alcaraz of Aberdeen in 2. Madge Howardson of Stirling in 3. Maria Wattle Loughborough in 4. Ali Thomas B Swimming in 5, Lydia Britton, University College London in 6, Amy Buttle, Surrey in 7, Fiona Cash of Ulster in 8, and Rebecca Britton of York in 9. quickest coming in, 1:59.5. That's Mary Wattle of Loughborough. And the time put down by Georgia Coates again, 1:59.88. So Mary Wattle and Alice Thomas neck and neck throughout the entire heat. Entry times 1:59.5 and 2:01.54 for the two women in the centre. Incredibly tight. Yeah, Wattle just gets it, 2:02.89, so a couple of seconds outside heat number 6's Georgia Coates. And a 2:03.06. Alice Thomas, 3 cracking times down the middle lanes. And then we'll move on to heat number 8 again. We'll have the first 5 heats a little bit later on. But in heat number 8 in 0, Carla Thornwell leads. Ella Windle, Birmingham, Grace Kinnell, Cardiff, Madeline Crompton, Bath. Edinburgh teammates Catherine Greensdale and Monique Olivia take up the centre lanes 4 and 5. Swansea's Abigail Burt in 6. Aberdeen's Mary Swanson in 7. Sophia Quash, Hertfordshire in 8, and Dominique Kalichwa of Coventry in 9. And if you do want to get involved anytime throughout the day, you can use the hashtag BUCS Nationals on Twitter, or you can leave a comment in the comment section on the YouTube channel. We'll respond to as many of them as possible. So we said the two Edinburgh teammates in the centre lanes. Here in heat number 8, it's a 1:58.18 from Greenslade. And a 2 minutes 00.78 from Monique Olivia. So they'll be trying to occupy the two centre lanes in the final. Later, the time to beat at the moment, set by Georgia Coates. Heat number 6, 1:59.88. So they'll both need to beat that if they want to be in those lanes 4 and 5. And it's currently Olivier in 5, leading not only her teammate, but also Madeline Crompton of Bath and Abigail Bart of Swansea. No less than 4 inside 1.6 seconds. It's the tightest of the 3 heats we've seen thus far. And turning for home for the second and final time, Greenslade now 0.95, nearly a full second ahead of Olivier's. That's a bit of a turnaround in that third 50 metres. Turning that deficit on its head entirely. And with 25 to go, I don't think her teammate's going to catch her. Entry time again, 1:58.18. Time to beat, 1:59.88. So she's not going to be the fastest throughout the heats, but it's a 2:02.69. Teammate Olivier, 2:04.65. And then in comes Crompton, Burr and Kinnell, all under 2:10. And we'll wait to see a little bit later. 5 more heats to come, the earlier heats. But expect to see those Edinburgh teammates a little bit later on. And now we move on to the same event, but the men's event number 202. This is the 200 metre freestyle for the men. We'll have the 3 fastest heats again, so this will be heats number 7, 8 and 9. And then we'll see heats 1 to 6 a little later this morning. And in heat number 7 in 0, or from 0, Miles Turner, Anglia Ruskin, Angus Warson Andrews, Martin McKinns, Strathclyde, Ada Husana, Edinburgh, Craig McLean, Stirling, Jarvis Parkinson, Borough Swimming, Jeffrey Chen, Bath, Brandon Sayers, Swansea, his teammate Charlie Hopkins next to him, and Marcus Johnson of Lancaster completes the pool here in heat number 7. Fastest entry, 1:48.42, Stirling's Craig McLean. 12 seconds separate the pool, Marcus Johnson of Lancaster in 9. So McLean or maybe Parkinson in a 1:49. They'll be the chaps to set the time. In fact, we haven't got a lane number 5. So Jarvis Parkinson not with us, which means a little bit of clear water for Craig McLean in 4. At least to one side, and in fact it is both sides. Clear advantage through the first 100. It's 1.9 full seconds ahead of Chen in 6. But less than 4.5 seconds separating the entire pool. And McLean looks to be stretching it marginally as he turns for the final 50. Going to be outside 2 seconds now, I'm sure. 2.68 in fact over Chen. Same order, Chen, Husana. So McLean throwing down a time. So heats number 8 and 9 to come shortly. And Jeffrey Chen of Bath holding on pretty impressively in fact. So 1:52.25. And a 1:54.43 for Chen behind. But the first 5 men all under 2 minutes, so there's your time to beat. Craig McLean, 1:52.25. Now heat number 8. From lane 0, Daniel Lowe, Winchester, Jacques Boncel, Cambridge, Liam Snook, Birmingham, Elliot Clogg, Thomas Dean of Bath, James McMillan, Ulster, Joe Litchfield, Felix Gifford in 7, Stirling, Tom Thorpe, Manchester Met, and Ben Eastman goes in 9 of Oxford. So Thomas Dean of Bath, a 1:47.64 coming in. The only other man under 1:50, Jack McMillan, Ulster, 1:49.54. And it is Dean who has a marginal lead with 0.38 over Clogg and just another 200 out to McMillan. In fact, swore 4 swimmers within 1 second, so the tightest heat we've seen of the morning so far, men's and women's. Dean's lead over Macmillan is going to be equally marginal again. In fact, taking 200ths off it, Macmillan down to 0.3. And now only Clog inside a second. To Lichfield, 1.53 behind. 5 within 2 seconds. Pool starting to separate slightly apart from those 3 centre lanes. Clog, Dean and Macmillan. The time buyer from McLean set in heat number 7 was a 1:52.25, so that's the time they're chasing. They've all done it in the entry times. And Dean and Macmillan at the head of a spear in the centre of the pool. Macmillan could even come back to take this one, the man from Ulster, in the last 50 metres. And he does indeed, very tight, 1:52.07 from Macmillan. Dean 1:52.21, so they both beat the time of McLean, which is a 1:52.25, so incredibly tight. And then Lichfield 1:54.17, so the new time to beat from heat number 9 is going to be 1:52.07. Jack Macmillan. And on to the final heat, heat number 9 from 0, Mark Elric, Glasgow. Elliot Pickford, Manchester Met, Rory Huggins, Surrey, Will Foster, Loughborough, Max Litchfield, Sheffield, Hallam, Tim Shuttleworth, Loughborough, Ross Leslie, Edinburgh, Martin Papacratiou, Sunderland, Henry Chung, Cambridge, and Jay Snowden, Cardiff Met. Again, just 2 men coming in under 150. It's Max Litchfield, Sheffield, Hallam, 1:47.48. And Tim Shuttleworth of Loughborough, 1:48.8. Will Foster got pretty close, 1:55.5. All 3 under the time of 1:52.07, just set by Macmillan in heat number 8. Litchfield turns in 26.15. 3 men inside a second. It's a slightly bigger advantage at the halfway stage that we've seen so far in the previous 2 heats. Lichfield are 1.43 ahead of Shuttleworth now. 1.98 to Foster. And Rory Huggins of Surrey doing his best throughout the remaining competitors in the pool, but that is a wonderful lead there in lane number 4 from Lichfield. Over 1.5 seconds now, Foster 2.41 behind. So he had 6 times in the heats under 150 coming in, but not yet a time under 152 in fact. Can Lichfield, the man from Sheffield, Hallam, change all that? Going to be outside 150. Will it be under 152.07? It's not, in fact, 152.75. Shuttleworth closed it down to under a second, or just over a second in the end, 1.15. And then Will Foster, the 3 men that led throughout the race in that order as well. 155.26. 5 more heats to come a little bit later on. But for now, we move on to our next event. This is the women's 50-metre backstroke.
Swimmers, this is a test start. Place your mark.
And again, we're going to see the 3 fastest heats. So we're going to start with heat 8. Then we'll have 9 and 10. A bit later on in the morning, we'll enjoy those earlier heats. So, event 203, the women's 50-metre backstroke. From lane 0, Imogen Hunt, Cardiff Met, Molly Ollington, Anglia Ruskin, Lucy Farmer, Bournemouth, Edinburgh teammates Anna Main and Lucy Hope in 3 and 4, Danielle Hill, Ulster in 5, Manchester Met, Chloe Golding in 6, Jodie Alder of York in 7. Golsom Onell, West of Scotland in 8. And Cardiff Met's Beth Blakelock in 9. 28.18 the fastest entry, Edinburgh's Lucy Hope. And these 3 heats are going to absolutely fly by. And there we go, first of 3 heats. Heats 8, 9 and 10 coming up. Heat number 8 again, 28.18 Edinburgh's Lucy Hope. 28.72 Danielle Hill of Ulster. So not much in it on paper, not much in it in the pool either, but it is Hope in lane number 4 leading Hill of Ulster to her left-hand side. Come down to the timings. And there we go, 29.43, 29.55, so just the 2 of them under the 30-second mark, a second outside the entry times. But that is the time put down for the remaining couple of heats. 29.43, Lucy Hope. And heat number 9, from the near side, Georgia Grasson, Exeter, Ellie McNally, Bristol, Lara Gruter, Manchester Met, Molly Allen, Loughborough, Cassie Wilde, Stirling, Jessica Fuller-Love, namesake Jessica Shaw, Birmingham in 6, Robin Crawford, West Scotland in 7, Maya Semenyova, Holland of Portsmouth in 8, and Rebecca Williams, Leeds Beckett in 9. And Jessica Fuller-Love leading the pool into the final 10 metres to her left and right. Cassie Wilde and Jessica Shaw. Entry time of Fuller-Love was a 28.3, so outside that, but only by half a second. 28.73 the new time to beat from Fuller-Love. Cassie Wilde, Holly Allen, Jessica Shaw all under the 30-second mark. But Fuller-Love puts down a new marker. And on to our final heat, heat number 10, Sophie Murray, Newcastle, Hannah Jones, Bristol, Kelly Small of Chichester, Emma Scobie, Strathclyde, Kathleen Dawson, the fastest on paper, 27.92 in 4, Emily Klein of Roughborough, Lotte Upan of Stirling, Grace Spong of Lancaster, Katie Latham of Kent, and Katie Henderson of York in 9. So 28.73 the time to beat. Kathleen Dawson, with her eyes set on that time, certainly almost a second quicker coming in. Emily Klein of Loughborough, Emma Scobie of Strathclyde. In fact, 5 athletes gone under 30 seconds coming into this one. Emily Crane and Lotte Upan are actually going to take it away. They do indeed. Surprise there. Crane 29.44, Dawson 29.69, so 3 women under 30 seconds. Fastest coming though from Emily Crane, 29.44, so the fastest from the heats, 28.75. And that was Jessica Fuller-Love of heat number 9. Of course, keep your eyes on the BUCS website, but all of the live timings are, and that's the first place you'll see there. women and men going into the finals. And now we've had the women's going to move on to the men's backstroke. This is event number 204. Again, 3 heats. Heats 8, 9 and 10 we'll see now. The early heats a little bit later in the morning. But in heat number 8, from lane 0, James Towner of Oxford, Aidan Sparling of Derby, Joseph Tibbets Portsmouth, Philippos Akadivis of Bath, Scott Gibson, Edinburgh, his teammate, Kieran McGuckin. In 4 and 5, Sam Pease of Stirling, Jamie Robertson Portsmouth, Newcastle's Jordan McDonald in 8, and Augustus Vesey of Sheffield Hallam in 9. 2 men inside 26 seconds. That's the Edinburgh teammates Gibson and McGuckin, 25.54 and 25.78. There we go, then the first of 3 heats in the men's. He's 8, 9 and 10. Fastest again, 25 even, .54, Edinburgh's Scott Gibson. But that's incredibly tight across those 4 centre lanes. Wouldn't like to call this one with 5 seconds to go any of those centre 4. It's going to go 2. He does get it in the end, Scott Gibson, marginally 0.06 ahead of his teammate Gagakin. And then Philippos Iakovodis, 27.19. In fact, 5 men under 28 seconds. 27.02 the time to beat from Gibson. Heat number 9 will see Jack Lindsay, Cardiff Met, Zach Broadway, Coventry, Matthew Pomford, Lancaster, Joe Small, Swansea, Dan Cross, Loughborough, Liam White, Swansea, Neil Wiley, Manchester Met, Birmingham's Jonathan Bennett, Anthony Woodrow, Sheffield Hallam in 8, and Leicester's Owen Drabwell in 9. And again, 2 men under 26 seconds. Fastest Dan Cross, Loughborough, 25.1. So almost 2 seconds quicker than Gibson's time in heat number 8. And this is a different race. Lanes 4 and 5, well ahead. Dan Cross and Liam White. Liam White, in fact, of Swansea, leading the way into the final 5 metres. He'll get the win in heat number 9. His time, 25.88. Dan Cross, 26.56. So significant difference over heat number 8. So Liam White in 5, 25.88 the new time to beat. Now move on to heat number 10. From the near side, Matthew Rappill of Surrey, Matthew Wright of Bath, Martin Cartu of Glasgow, Craig McNally West of Scotland, Luke Greenbank Loughborough, Martin Walton Stirling, Dominic Walker Oxford, Tom Bailey Plymouth, Reece Singleton Cardiff, and AJ Wood of Salford. Luke Greenbank in lane 4, the only man coming in under 25 seconds, 24.8 entry time. And a cracking start from Greenbank and Walton. Walton's time, the man from Stirling, 25.55. Again, the time to beat, 25.88 is the quickest from heat number 9. This is the final heat, heat number 10. And we could see a win again from lane number 5, unless Greenbank can do anything over the last couple of metres. No, again, lane 5, Martin Walton, 26.09, so outside the time of White from heat 9. Luke Greenbank, 26.21, and then just under 27 seconds by 200s, Craig McNally. And we'll expect to see them do better a little later alongside Liam White. Again, keep your eyes on the BUCS website for the official timings and the official start sheets for those finals later on. And now we move on to the breaststroke event number 205. We'll start with the women. Again, 3 heats. And then we will see the men's 50-metre breaststroke. A young chap by the name of Adam Peaty going in heat number 11. The men's, that'll be in about 5 or 10 minutes' time. But the women's breaststroke, heat number 8 is up first. Annalise Wright of Swansea in 0. Claire Collins of Leeds. Zoe Bewley of Oxford in 2. Eve Thompson-Sterling in 3. Charlotte Dorr, Royal Holloway in 4. Edinburgh's Annabelle Guy-Johnson in 5. Sarah McCracken Ulster in 6. Denisa Elena Gogu of Manchester in 7. Rihanna Smith Queen Mary in 8. And Surrey's Alicia Pollard in 9. So fastest on paper, Charlotte Dorr, 30.9. But as you can see, she hasn't made it into the pool. So we're going to concentrate on our current leaders, lanes 3 and 5. Eve Thompson and Annabelle Guy-Johnson. Scottish rivals, Stirling versus Edinburgh. And then lane 2, the closest, Zoe Bewley. But the win does go to Eve Thompson, 33.42, so a good few seconds outside the entry times. But either way, a time put down to beat, 33.4 for Thompson. 2 more heats to come. And that time by Johnson, in fact, inside her entry time. On to heat number 9. From the near side, Megan Pirrie, East Anglia, Lucy Fairbanks, Manchester Met, Amber Owen, Edinburgh, Angarad Eburn, Cardiff, Sarah Vasey, Loughborough, Rachel Taylor, Newcastle, Naomi Van Dongen, Bath, Ellen Scholl, Surrey, Bethan Sloan, King's College London, and Hayley Alcock, Sheffield on the far side. And again, one more non-starter, Bethan Sloan, King's College in 8. Lane number 4, Sarah Vasey. Entry time of 30.4. Time to beat 33.42. She does lead the pool, just ahead of Angarad Eburn of Cardiff, but she will take it. Heat number 9, 31.84, the quickest time so far by some way. 32.27 from Eburn in 3, and then one more lady, 32.91, Rachel Taylor in lane 5. The only ones under 33, 31.84. A new time to beat. One more heat coming up. So heat number 10, Rebecca Redfern of Worcester in 0, Zoe McDonald Stirling in 1, Abby Johnson Birmingham, Nottingham's Ciara Fletcher, Imogen Clark of Loughborough, Manchester Met's Katie Matz, Shannon Campbell of Birmingham, Laura Hawkins Swansea, Katie Story Glasgow, and Sophia Zuccarella of Warwick in 9. And a flying start there from Imogen Clark. Her entry time, 30 seconds dead. Closest to her, 31.2, Katie Matz. So a full second and a bit separating those two, so no surprise to see Imogen Clark out in front. The lady from Loughborough. All about the time, just 31.84 to beat the time from heat number 9. And she beats it by 74 hundredths of a second. Imogen Clark, Katie Matz, 32.48, the only two under 33 seconds. So we'll expect to see Clark and Matz later on this evening in the final. Of course, 5 more heats, the earlier heats to come a little bit later, so nothing set in stone, but very likely to see a showdown between those two. And we now move on to the men's 50-metre breaststroke. We're going to see heats 9, 10 and 11 to begin with this morning. So heat 9. Ioannis Tampanakis of Swansea in 0. Tom Howarth leads Beckett in 1. Thomas Wiggins of Sheffield in 2. Daniel Lim, Harriet Watson, James Wilby, Loughborough, George Hopkins, Swansea, David Bloomfield, Loughborough, Cameron Muir, Glasgow, Caledonia, Thomas Speed, Sunderland, and Alan Chew, Bath. Fastest on paper, 27.5. James Wilby of Loughborough. And he already has a good metre lead into the final 10. So it's down to Wilby to set a time for the remaining 2 heats. That time set is 28.35. So almost a second outside the entry. George Hopkins, Daniel Bloomfield and Daniel Lim also under 30 seconds. On to heat number 10 from the near side. Jonathan Quinn, Aberdeen, Ben Arkle, Birmingham, Jack McCornish, West of Scotland, Oliver Crosby, Sheffield Hallam, Craig Benson Stirling, David Murphy, Rob Cowley, Manchester Met, Matthew Williams, Oxford, Lewis Waters, Cambridge and Yuk Ching, Imperial College London. Fastest entry, 27.33, Craig Benson Stirling. David Murphy at 27.99. And it is Benson and Murphy out in front of the halfway stage. Lane number 6, Rob Cowley, trying to stay involved, but it's going to be down to lanes 4 and 5. Looks like it's going to be Benson to set the time. Does indeed, 28.32. So 300ths quicker than Hopkins in heat number 9. And just Murphy and Cowley, the only other men going under 30 seconds. 28.32, the new time to beat. And the final heat number 11 in 0, David Shipman, Birmingham, Jamie Holmes, University West of England, Jean-Jacques Choron, University Central College London, Jack Thorpe, Edinburgh, Adam Peaty, Zach Aitchison Stirling, Nicholas Quinn, Edinburgh, Ewan Leslie, Harriet Watson, Donovan McTaggart, Cardiff Met and Oswald Hood, Nottingham. So you'd expect to see lane number 4, Adam Peaty, streaking away for the win in this one. And he is out in the lead, but only marginally ahead of Zach Aitchison of Stirling, 27.65. Peaty's entry time, 26.09. Peaty will take the win in lane number 4, 26.74. Fastest time by a good couple of seconds almost in the heat so far. Aitchison takes 28.10. And then several chaps under 30 seconds. Ewan Leslie, Nicholas Quinn and Jean-Jacques Choron. Peaty, of course, competing for Loughborough, but can't take part in the final because he's not officially a student at Loughborough. But a pleasure to see him in the pool. No less than 10 world records for Peaty, so a pleasure for those alongside him to swim against him as well. 5 world championships, 12 times European champion, 3 times Commonwealth champion. So again, keep your eye on the BUCS website. So who does make it into that final. We now move on to the women's 100-metre butterfly, event number 207. Again, 3 heats, heats 5, 6 and 7 to enjoy first of all. From the near side, Lucy Hawley, Birmingham, Amy Felgate, Cambridge, Ruth McEwen, Leeds Beckett, Jessica Calderbank, Salford, Alice Thomas, Kiana McInnes, Stirling, Holly Williams, Hull, Maria Crezo-Pros of Newcastle, Emily Blissett, Surrey, and Alice St John Moss, Southampton. So Alice Thomas in 4, 58.06 coming in. Stirling's Kiana McInnes, the only other woman under 1 minute, a 59.55. So Alice Thomas taking part but can't make it to the final. Jessica Calderbank 102.67 coming in, and then Maria Crezo-Pros a 104. So Alice Thomas 58.06 coming in. What can she get in the heat? She goes just under 1 minute, will be the only woman to do so, 59.82. And Kiana McInnes sets the time to beat for the remaining athletes to make it into that final, 102.94. And heat number 6, Cardiff Met teammates Katie Townsend and Joy Willett on the near side. Plymouth's Madison Kemp, King's College Lucy Thornton, Loughborough teammates Charlotte Atkinson and Harriet West in the centre lanes. Stirling's Isabel Jones in 6, Georgie Pryor, Nottingham Trent in 7, Sheffield's Lauren Hodgson in 8, and Bath Catherine Ross in 9. Again, 2 women under 1 minute, a 57.8 from Charlotte Atkinson, and her teammate 59.94 Harriet West. And we jump up to a 102 for Lucy Thornton and Isabel Jones. So Charlotte Atkinson, Loughborough, turns in 28.59. And she was the only woman under 29 seconds, 29 dead from Harriet West, her teammate. And what's the time going to be? Atkinson is a 1 minute .23, just outside the minute mark. And her teammate 101.8. Lucy Thornton 102.69. So what can the women do in heat number 7? Can anybody go under that minute mark? 2 have on paper. Well, let's go through the entire field first of all. Hannah Dawson, Edge Hill, Spencer Williams, Oxford, Charlotte Taylor, Warwick, Tara Howarth, Edinburgh, Anna Nikratanaka, London. She was the 57.77. Tane Bruce, Edinburgh, 58.97. Then Hannah Denny, Bath. Millie Scotchbrook, Nottingham. Natasha Crowe, Sheffield, Hallam. And Ailey McGregor, Leeds. So Anna Nantanaki, London, 57.77. So 2.3 seconds quicker than the time set by Charlotte Atkinson in heat number 6. Again, just trying to get into the final. All about times on the clock. So Tanaki 28.8, 0.26 ahead of Bruce. Denny 108 behind. So well under 30 to the halfway mark. Can they maintain that? And Bruce can take control if this is over the second 50 and especially the final 25 metres. And she will be the first lady under 1 minute. Tane Bruce, 59.85. Nutanaki, 101.28. But a cracking time from Tane Bruce, the woman from Edinburgh. She came in with a time under 1 minute. It was a 58.97, so not reached that mark. But the fastest on paper out of all the heats we've seen thus far. And we'll certainly see her a little bit later on in this evening's final. And now it's time for the men's butterfly. Again, 3 heats. Heats 8, 9 and 10. From the near side, this is event number 208. Heat number 8, the men's 100-metre butterfly. From 0, Ewan McCavitt leads Beckett. Alfonso Sequeira, Manchester. Will Jagger, Bradford. Leon Bershey, University Central College London. Lewis Fraser, Swansea. Jamie Ingram, Manchester. Brian O'Sullivan, Loughborough. Jonah Walsh, Harriet Betton. Aidan Sparling, Derby, and Izzat Mohammed, Plymouth. .53.85, the time of Lewis Fraser from Swansea. And then you go all the way out to 55 seconds, Jamie Ingram of Manchester. Very tight indeed. In fact, lane 3's Birchie, a 25.43. Leading the way at the halfway mark. And it's very tight indeed between lanes 3, 4, 5 and 6. That was Birchie, Fraser, Ingram and O'Sullivan. Fraser of Swansea may be making his quality show in the last 15 metres. The early leader, Birchie, just falling slightly behind now. And it will go to lane number 4, Lewis Fraser, 55.03, cracking time. .55.81 from Birch in the end, the leader at the halfway stage. And then look at that, 56.13 Ingram. But 55.03 the time to beat. On to heat number 9, our second heat. From the near side, East Anglia's Simon Newton, Gregor Swinney of Strathclyde, Edinburgh's Ross Leslie in 2, James Baxter, BUCS, Loughborough's Kevin Wallbank in 4, Martin Walton, Stirling in 5, Harry Lewis Mitchell, Edinburgh 6, Lewis Hodgetts, Swansea in 7, Matthew Cortis, Oxford in 8, and Harry Jones, East Anglia in 9. Just waiting for the pool to clear. So Loughborough's Kevin Wallbank, 53.5 coming in. One other man under 55 seconds, 54.48, Stirling's Martin Walton. The time to beat from Fraser, 55.03. Halfway stage of heat number 9, and it is lane 4. As you'd imagine, Wallbank 26.19, so slower to the halfway mark than Fraser in heat number 8. Look at that, 6 men under 1 second behind, incredibly tight in these 100-metre heats. Just one more to come after this one. You'd expect all the finalists to come from these 3 heats, but 7 more to come a little bit later on. Now with a metre advantage, Wallbank in 4 of Loughborough. All about his time. Touches home in a 56 dead. So 97 hundredths of a second behind Fraser from heat number 8. And in heat number 10, can any man get under 55 seconds? There's a couple on paper, especially Jacob Peters representing British swimming, 52.9, but unable to make it into that final. And the lineup for heat number 10, Christopher Muir, Glasgow, on this near side. Jack Toe, Sheffield Hallam. Tom Bealey, Plymouth. Oliver Maltby, Bath. Jacob Peters, British swimming. Scott McClay, Stirling. Tom Downs, Sheffield Hallam. Mark Elric, Glasgow. Jack Faby, Cardiff Met. And Oliver Perry, York. So Jacob Peters, British swimming, 52.9. So he'll be hoping to drag along Bath's Oliver Maltby and Scott McClay of Stirling to his left and right. They can qualify for the final, of course. Maltby came in with a 55.08, McClay with a 54.36. And still that time of Fraser from heat number 8, 55.03. The time to beat will get closer to guarantee yourself a place in the final later on. And here's in fact lane 5, Scott McClay of Stirling. Out ahead of Jacob Peters. But Peters, look at that, coming back in the final 25. My goodness me. Powering through at the end, 54.43. McClay goes in with a 55.01, 200ths quicker than Fraser from heat number 8. Then Oliver Maltby, 56.06. Now to McClurk or Mark Eldrick, 56.48. Over in lane number 7, but 55.01. So no man under 55 in the heats. On paper there was coming in, but still 55.01, the quickest time from the heats. And we'll see McClay a little bit later in the final. And now we move back to the earlier heats. So we've had all classed as the fast heats, let's call them in inverted commas. And now we move back to the early heats. So back to event number 201, the women's 200 metre freestyle, mixed classification. And we're going to see 5 heats in this one. Xing Kwong, Queen Mary, will be in lane 3 in this heat number 1. Susanna Hext, British swimming, in lane 4. She's in the S5 category. And then Laura Pilkington of Robert Gordon in lane 5. She's in the S6 category. Just having a quick look at the YouTube stream. Again, if you're on there, you can comment, or you can use the hashtag BUCS Nationals on Twitter. We'll try and read out as many as we can. Falofolot Go Swansea in that YouTube comment section. And a lovely mention there from A.O. Atkins. This is great, but way better than last year's streaming. Very kind, all courtesy of 247.tv. And plenty more action to come. Full day today, full day tomorrow. So we're currently in session 2. And we now go back to, again, event number 201, the women's mixed classification 200 metre freestyle. We're with heat number 1 in lane 3, Xin Kwong of Queen Mary in lane 4, Susanna Hex, British swimming in the S5 category, and Laura Pilkington, Robert Gordon in lane 5 of the S6 category. So Susanna Hext, a 3:10 coming into this one, representing British swimming. A 3:29 from Pilkington. And then a 3:30 from Xin Kwong. So approaching the halfway stage is Xin Kwong, Queen Mary. She turns it halfway in 1:20. So a lot quicker than the entry time at the moment. In lane 4, Susanna Hex turned in 1:25. And then Pilkington of Robert Gordon in the S6, a 1:46.4 at the halfway mark. As we see Kwong in lane 3, 2:05.73, the split at 1:50. So 5 heats to come in the women's 200 metre freestyle. Then we'll move back to event number 202. 6 heats from there. We've already seen the earlier, let's say, faster heats, the 6, 7 and 8. But again, it's all on the timing. You can still make it into the final from these earlier heats. It is all against the clock. So lane 3, Xin Kwong, 2:51.29. And in lane 4 then, Susanna Hext. Officially a 3:11.05. And in lane 5, Laura Pilkington. Come in with a 3:29. Going to be just outside that in a 3:32.68 to round out heat number 1. Move on to heat number 2. From the near side in lane 1, Tully Kearney of Manchester Met. She's competing in the S5 category. And we have Megan Ward of Winchester, Bethany Camel of Bangor, Elizabeth McCulloch, Exeter, Sophie Pedler, Nottingham Trent, Eleanor Shields, King's College, Amelia Lawrence Downs of Chichester, and Heather Furnish of Kent. few more messages coming in from the YouTube channel. Rion, nice to have you back. Good morning, here for day 2 of 3. Hopefully see you tomorrow as well, Rion. Ben Rose, good morning everyone. The pool looks refreshing. It does indeed. It's about 45 degrees here. Up in the higher echelons of the seating area, believe me. And then Ekaterina Zosimiva, let's go Liz, hashtag bleed green. Keep the messages coming in on YouTube. And of course the hashtag BUCS Nationals on Twitter. I'll try and keep up to date with everything. But with so much happening in the pool. As we have here, Elizabeth McCulloch, Exeter, lane 4. Entry time, 2:34.79. It's a pretty big lead at the halfway stage. She leads Bethany Kamel of Bangor. And it's 3.39 seconds after 100 metres. And then behind Camel, Tully Kearney in lane number 1. But the pool separated by a fairly big margin at the moment. Between 1, 2, then back to 3rd place. As you can see, a pretty commanding lead from McCulloch in 4. The lead was just over 3 seconds. Now out to 5.59 over Kimel. And it's still Kearney in 1, representing Manchester Met in the S5 category. 3rd place here in heat number 2 currently. But the win will go to the woman from Exeter, led throughout the entire heat, 2.26.5. And then the lady to her left, Bethany Kamel, was 2nd throughout the entire heat, 2:35.01. And there's a little bit of a race on now for 3rd in this heat. Kearney coming under a little bit of pressure. Should be able to hold those off though in the final 10 indeed. And very, very tight between Megan Ward and Sophie Pedler. Ward just out touching with a good win. Elizabeth McCulloch 2:26.5. Ahead of Bethany Kamel 2:35.01. So just to keep you up to date, if you haven't seen a start sheet for this morning, we've got a few more heats in the men's and the women's 200 metre freestyle, 50 metre backstrokes. The session will finish with the individual medley finals in both the women's and the 400 metres individual medleys. So that'll be event number 209 and 210, currently with the earlier heats in event number 201. And this is heat number 3 coming up from the near side. Saskia Mack-Pierce, Sheffield. Lucy Galopper, King's College. Sophie Chillingworth, Cardiff. Sophia Bingham, Manchester. Lancaster teammates Frances Coperman and Hannah Champion. Katie Dobb of Kiel. Exeter's Elk Morgan in 7. Emma Nelson, Bangor in 8. And Katie Maloney, Lincoln in 9. So cracking start in lane 0, Saskia Mack-Pierce taking the very early advantage. And then in the middle, lane 4, Frances Coperman of Lancaster. In fact, the 2 outside lanes leading the charge here in heat number 3. So Maloney 32.86 through the first 50. out in lane number 9. 2:34 was the entry time, 6 seconds slower than Copeman of Lancaster in lane number 4, a 2:28 dead. And she still leads at the halfway stage. Don't see many heat wins from lane number 9. But Katie Maloney looking to do just that with 75 to go. Frances Copeman and Hannah Champion, the teammates in 4 and 5. And the early leader from lane 0, Saskia Mack-Pierce, maybe just went out slightly too quick. So with 50 to go, Maloney does turn first. It's down to 1.4 seconds over Champion and Copeman. And in fact, a further 2 back to Copeman. So there's been a bit of a difference there over the third 50 between the 2 teammates in the centre. And now it's a 2-woman race between 9 and 4, Maloney and Copeman, Lincoln versus Lancaster. And I think Maloney is going to hold on to this one with 10 metres to go, just above our commentary position right now. And she is indeed. Entry time again was 2:34. So comfortably under that, 2:22.14. Champion has to settle for second, and Copeman third, 2:22.95. And a fantastic heat number 3 here in the women's 200 metre freestyle. And on the web chat, George Bolton just confirming the pool is refreshing. And we move on to heat number 4. From the near side, Megan Armitage, Leicester, Claire Ryan, York, Nicola Lawrence, Portsmouth, Gabrielle Taylor, Chichester, Lauren Barraclough, Liverpool, Hannah Blake, Cardiff Met, Megan Reckless, Southampton, Rebecca Ledbetter, Kiel, Daniela Shipley, Kent, and Matilda Harbour, University West of England. Lauren Barraclough not able to join us from Liverpool. She set the equal fastest entry time with Hannah Blake. They both came in with 2:22s. And Chichester's Gabrielle Taylor a 2:22.08. It's a little bit of free water in the pool. Wouldn't mind jumping in there myself. And through the first 50 it is Lawrence. 1500s ahead of Reckless, Shipley 0.54, no less than 6 within 1 second. And it is a cracking start from Lawrence in lane 2. Travelled all the way up from Portsmouth to Sheffield, can't get much further away, right on the south coast. And she's still going to be leading at the halfway stage as well. Now 0.55 seconds, and from 6 within a second, now down to 3 within a second. That is Shipley, Reckless and Armitage. As you can see right there, 2 with a body length out in front. So 50 metres ago, the lead was 0.55 seconds. Shipley now 1.26, Shipley out to Lawrence. Reckless and Blake still within 2 seconds, everything to play for. But Shipley in lane 8, we had a winner from lane 9 in heat number 3. Can we get a winner from lane 8 in heat number 4? It's looking more and more likely. Into the final 15. Closest competitor now, Megan Reckless. But it will be a win in lane number 8, Daniela Shipley. Cracking heat from her, 2:21.86. Reckless comes home second in the heat, 2:24.69. Then very tight between Blake and Harper. Just a second separating them, but great heat from Shipley in lane 8. So now time for heat number 5, the final heat in the women's 200 metre freestyle. From the near side, Tilly Thuringer, Manchester, Ella Stilwell, Southampton, Hannah Clay, Leeds Beckett, Georgia Kidd, Sheffield, Hallam, Amy Neal, Derby, Andrea Valdivasio of Durham, Freya Beck, Leeds Beckett, Bethany Mear, Newcastle, Cheyenne Jones of Sheffield, and Fran Baldwin of Leeds. So 10 on paper, but just 8 in the pool. Early lead with lane 2's Hannah Clay. Coming up again to the far side, lane 7 and 9. So Clay 31.77. Less than 3/10 to Mia. Stilwell, just 0.42. So what's happened to these centre lanes over the last 3 heats? Everything coming from the outside. Bethany Mear of Newcastle. A little tussle at the halfway stage with Ella Stilwell and Hannah Clay. They'll turn first, second, third. And then Baldwin still within 1.2. So as you can see on your screen there, 4 women race at the halfway stage. And Ella Stilwell, maybe just half an arm length ahead of Hannah Clay, but still chasing lane 7, Bethany Mear. Naomi out to 1.64 ahead, 1.82 to Clay. Baldwin hanging on in lane 9. But look at lanes 1 and 2, Stilwell and Clay, Southampton and Leeds Beckett, absolutely neck and neck. But if they look to their right-hand side, they'd see in lane number 7, Bethany Mear of Newcastle. Streaking away in the final 25, she'll take the win in heat number 5. And the chase between lanes 1 and 2 does go the way of Hannah Clay. Hannah Clay should of course have a little number 2 next to her name, so ignore that. The win does go to Mia, 2:17.87. By far the best from those first 5 heats. Clay going under 2:20 and Stilwell just outside by 26 hundredths. So that's the women's. Now back to the men's. This is event 202. We'll now have heats number 1 to 6. We'll just wait for the women to clear the pool. 4 contestants or athletes in heat number 1. In lane 3, Sam Grunhut of Aberystwyth. 4, Neil Deasy, University West of England. Tom Winter of Sheffield in 5. And Takayuki Suzuki of Northumbria, the S5 category athlete, in lane number 6. So halfway stage, DC in 4, 109.72, 2.37 seconds ahead of Winter in 5. Entry times for this one, DC came in with a 2:25, Winter came in with a 2:40. 2:41 from Grunet, and Suzuki 2:59. So turning into the final 50, DZ 1:48.7. Just 4.5 second advantage over Winter. Again, we're going to see 6 heats. Heats 1 to 6. We've already seen heats 7, 8 and 9 a little bit earlier on this morning. In fact, one of the first things we saw. And then, of course, we'll continue with events number 203, 204, 205 and 6. These are the 50-metre backstrokes and the breaststrokes for the men and the women. So we're going to be seeing all of the earlier heats. And then at the end of the session, don't forget, the mixed 4x100 medleys, the individual medleys, that is, of course, for the women and the men at the end of session 2. Session 2, or session 3, will begin at 2 p.m. Daisy going back to the pool, 2:26.25. Winter, 2:33.71. Grunet, a 2:48.73. And Suzuki came in with a 2:59. So just going to be outside that. And that concludes heat number 1. On to heat 2 from the near side. Harry Morton, Sheffield. Killian Courtney, Liverpool. Luke Maunder, Birmingham. Aidan Coe, London. Jacob Brazier, Chichester. Jordan Dobson, Cardiff. Zach Dunning, Coventry. Kane Smith, University West of England. Nicolo Speroni, London. And Joseph Clymer, Kiel. So heat 2, very similar entry times, anything from a 2:17.98, that was Jacob Brazier, Chichester, and just out to a 2:21, that was Joseph Clymer, Kiel in 9. So expect to see a fairly tight one. Going back to the YouTube chat. Jake McCabe, go Chef. I'm guessing that's Sheffield. I can't see any names with the surname Chef, so I'm guessing that's Sheffield. And James Springle, very, very kind, Jamie. The commentary is very good. Thank you. Back into the pool, lane 2 and lane 8. Luke Maunder and Nicolo Speroni will lead at the halfway stage. Maunder of Birmingham, Speroni of London. Jacob Brazier, Chichester. Fastest man on paper. Currently training Luke Maunder by around 2.5 seconds. And from YouTube, Ben Rose, Viva Beth Palmer. So Maunder, 1:37, 4 seconds ahead of Brazier. And then Speroni drops down to third here in heat number 2. And that lead from Maunda is just growing and growing, the man from Birmingham. That's a mighty victory here in heat number 2, lane 2. 2:10.7. That's 8.4 seconds under the entry time. And Killian Courtney, Speroni. So maybe a slight mix-up just on the timing there. Of course, again, BUCS University website, you can see all the live timings. But most definitely a good win from Maunda. And there we go, that's confirmed then. So 4th place for Killian Courtney. It was 3rd Speroni. So on to heat number 3. From the near side, Benjamin Sarsfield, Chichester. Joseph McLean, Bournemouth. Matteo Rosafia, Bradford. Carl Andreas Waith, Bristol. James Boots, Kent. John McCavitt, Bangor. Lewis Perry, Brunel. Joseph Zilch, East Anglia. Ben McMullen of Leicester, and in 9, Matt Anthony of York. Fastest on paper, James Boots, Kent, 2:10.3. Just inside the winning time from heat number 2. So halfway stage, Safio 101.86. Watney 0.49, McCavitt 0.95. So tighter than heat number 2. Entry times ranging from 2:10 to 2:17. And as we go through these heats, we'll get right up to heat number 6. They do get quicker and quicker, right down to the 2-minute mark. And Watney now leads. Rosafio, the early leader, now 1.79 behind Watney. McCavitt takes up second place, 0.42 behind. So maybe from Rosafio a bit too much effort in the first 100 metres. He is now just down to lanes 3 and 5. Watney and McCavitt. And it does look like Carl Andreas Watney will take the win here in heat number 3. It's a good time, under 2:10, 2:09.91. McCavitt 2:10.97. And then James Boots 2:15. Early leader Matteo Rosafio 2:16.6 will take 4th. Both a good time, under 2:10 from Watney. To conclude heat number 3. Athletes taking part in heat number 4. You're going to see from the near side George Russell of Leeds Beckett, Hugh Jones Southampton, Jacob Robson Liverpool, Jordan Young Exeter, Lawrence Gilfin Warwick, Ben Wilkinson Anglia Ruskin, Felix Mayer St Andrews, Ben Williams Cardiff, Tom Buckle Nottingham, Billy Martin Portsmouth. Halfway studying, it's lane 9 on the far side. It's Billy Martin, just over the second mark. But he's got 4 men within a second going down to Young. In lane number 1, Hugh Jones, Southampton. Having a cracking third 50 metres. Could take the advantage into the final 50. Does indeed just by a slither. 1:33.97, 1400s ahead of Martin, 1500s ahead of Wilkinson, and just 0.61 ahead of Mayer. So a 4-man race over this final 50. Looks like Felix Mayer of St Andrews may have left the most in the tank. It's going to be a fight between him and Billy Martin, the early leader of Portsmouth, on the far side. And just into this final 5, Mayer does indeed take the win here in heat number 4. 2:05.64, so 4 seconds quicker than heat number 3's winning time. And in fact 4 men under, 5 in fact, under the 2:10 mark. And on to heat number 5 from the near side. Stuart Evans, Newcastle. Daniel Parker, King's College. Dan Wheeler, Leeds Beckett. Kyle Panton, Coventry. Dominic Johnson, Lancaster. Leo Shuardi, Salford. Joseph Woolard, Exeter. Kieran Raffy, York. Mitchell Coombs, Royal Hull. And Harry Buttle, Surrey. So incredibly tight there, 1:59 separating the entire pool. Evans in 0:28.09, the quickest. Joseph Woolard, Exeter, lane 6. Leading the rest of the pack with Dan Wheeler, Leeds Beckett. But Stuart Evans still out in front. He's actually got nobody in lane 1, so he's swimming on his own. Nobody to his left or right immediately, of course, on pool side. It's up to 0.58 seconds, that lead as well. Turn for home. Evans still out in front in 0. Closest man to him, in fact, the closest man in the pool and on the timing. Wheeler in lane number 2. And then a bit of a gap back to Woolard and Panton. And this is a cracking swim in lane 0 from Stuart Evans, the man from Newcastle. Entry time 2:05.45. 2.5 seconds behind that of Johnson and Surawadi in the centre lanes. But it's going to be a comfortable win. And it's a 2:03.9. And there's Wheeler and Panton. Wheeler just holding on to second place in the heat. Panton 2:06.35, just over a tenth behind. But Stuart Evans 2:03.9. Cracking heat in lane 0. And heat number 6 will be our final heat. From lane 0, Michael McLennan, Nottingham Trent. Marshall Illingworth, Glasgow. Matt Savitz, Southampton. Brad Veach, Leeds. Matthew Sylvester, Salford. Alex Rosser of Swansea, swimming in the S14 category. Alfie Bones, Leeds. Stuart Leonard, Strathclyde. Simon Scully, Portsmouth. And Harry Robinson, Warwick. So Bones ahead of Sylvester and Rosser. 2200 separating the top three in those centre lanes, 4, 5 and 6. And in fact, if you include Brad Veach in lane 3, lanes 3, 4, 5, 6, all of their entry times under 2:01. So a 2-minute 0.10 from Sylvester, 0.6s from Rosser and Veach, then a 0.7 from Bones. 58.49 at the halfway stage from Sylvester. And that's going to be a comfortable lead from Sylvester into the final 50 in the final heat here of the men's 200-metre freestyle. He stretched it out to 2.12 over Veach, and just another 100th behind to Scully, and 400ths back again. So not under too much pressure out in the lead is Sylvester, but very tight behind him. Scully and Veach fighting for the second place in lane number 9. Harry Robinson can even come back over the final 10 metres. But Sylvester will take it at 2:02.1, Veach at 2:04.36. And then we see Scully, Illingsworth, Robinson taking 5th. But a good conclusion to the men's 200-metre freestyle heats. Final later on this evening. And we're shortly going to go back to the women's event number 203 for the earlier heats. This is the 50-metre backstroke. Heat number 1 from the near side, lane 1, Octavia Maranowska, Sunderland. Anna Tomaselli, London. Francesca Dinop, Aberystwyth. Lucy Ashmore, Northampton. Danica Moat, Chichester. Saskia Holmes, Winchester. Bryony Lewis, Ogden, Queen Mary. And in 8, Rebecca Hall, Sunderland. So 7 heats to bring you in the women's 50-metre backstroke. And then we'll move on to the men's. Heat number 1 of 7, fastest entry, 39.1, Lucy Ashmore, Northampton. Having a quick look on the web chat on the YouTube channel. 74 Campervan, you're making me blush. Very much appreciated. Good commentary. Feels like the Olympics. It's a cracking venue. And Luke Matthews, you've got this, Becky. You're referring to Rebecca Hall of Sunderland, I believe, here in heat number 1. Look to the pool, it's lane number 5, Danica Moat, and 2, Anna Tomaselli. Very, very tight between these two, into the final 5 metres. Just going to have to keep an eye on the scoreboard. Maybe is it going to be Tomaselli? It is indeed just 38.67, 4 tenths ahead of Moat. Francesca Dinop, 43.07. 38.67 the winning time. quicker than her entry time as well. Tomaselli came in with a 45. And there we go, Maranowska 105.84 to round out heat number 1. And on to heat number 2. Again, 7 heats. But these 50 metres absolutely fly by. From the near side, Angarad Lewis, Liverpool John Moore, Claire Robinson Leicester, Sarah Patrick Nottingham Trent, Olivia Martin Winchester, Nicole Harris Kiel, Abby Pickering Bradford, Lily Metcalf Liverpool, Georgia Hartley Salford, and then Coventry teammates Emily Milner and Anujan Jones in 8 and 9.
Take your mark.
And plenty of messages of Go Becky on the YouTube channel. And Rion confirming there, she did beat her entry time by 15 seconds. So clearly feeling your support and love through the stream. And in heat number 2, lane number 6, Lily Metcalf of Liverpool streaking towards the finishing board first, maybe ahead of Claire Robinson. It is those two that come in first. 35.1 for Metcalf, 35.96 Robinson. And then Georgia Hartley into the 36s with a .71. A good win there from lane 6 from Metcalf, 35.10, sorry. Remember the 37 dead, so again another win in the heat and another broken entry time. We move on to heat number 3. From the near side, Ian Faulkner of Leicester, Fiona Westcoff of Sheffield, Julia Pappy at Queen Mary, Eleanor Wixie Manchester, Sarah Ray Leeds, Rebecca Reed Durham, Pam Fleischer King's College London, Marina Sakira Bedfordshire, Katie Nichols Lincoln, and Caris Clark Southampton.
Take your mark.
Heat 3, quickest entry, 35.3 from Sarah Ray. Lane 4 from Leeds. And she does lead at the halfway stage. Well, almost her body length already, in fact. 4 other women inside 36 seconds. So a cracking performance in lane number 4. Actually a 33.1 from Sarah Ray, cracking time. Sakira in lane 7, 35.05. And then in Wixie, 35.33. But Sarah Ray, 33.1, absolute wonderful time in heat number 3. And on to heat number 4 of 7. From the near side, Ella Wood, Grace Beasley, Neve O'Sullivan, Alex Faulkner, Jessica Pearson, Jordan Sturt, Athena Heavey, Jasmine Au, Jamie Woodhouse and Lucy Coates. 4 women under 35 seconds. 3 of them all come in with 34.6. That is Faulkner, Pearson and Sturt.
Take your mark.
Not the best start from Pearson, mind. Lost the advantage just on the start there to Faulkner and Sturt, Exeter and Bedfordshire respectively. Here's Sturt in lane 5. He's pulling into these last 20 metres. Keep your eye on lane 1 also. Grace Beasley of Leeds Beckett. She could take the win from lane number 1. Just out touch, 34-34. 25 hundredths behind is Beasley. Looked very close at the line. And then Ella Wood, so again on the near side, 34.8. So 3 under 35 seconds. On to heat 5, and the entry times get quicker and quicker naturally. I'll mention those in a second. But from the near side, Eloise Montana, Nottingham, Charlotte Waddington, Bangor, Amy Neal, Derby, Charis Dawson, Newcastle, Ella Mensel, Leeds, Hayley Briggs, Royal Holloway, Chloe Hazel, Aberystwyth, Nina Fisher, Glasgow, Alice Miller, Imperial, and Georgia Jones, Liverpool. A 33.1 from Leeds, Ella Mensel in 4, the quickest. But no less than 7 times under 34 seconds. Very tight across the centre of the pool, also lane number 1. So 5 involved, also lane 9, Georgia Jones, Liverpool. It looks like it's going to come from either lanes 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I'm not going to call it, keep your eye on the scoreboards, time's coming up. Win goes to lane number 1, Charlotte Waddington, 33.43. 17 hundredths behind is Chloe Hazel. She took 3rd, but 12 hundredths behind Ella Mensel in 4 will take 2nd. But look at those cracking times. 1, 2, 3, 4 under 34 seconds. Waddington the fastest, 33.43. And on to heat 6. Felstead of Portsmouth, Canning of St Andrews, Hodgson, Durham, Roberts of Cardiff, Porter of Bath, Sale of Liverpool, John Moore, Pearson, Southampton, Pryor of Nottingham Trent, Broomfield of East Anglia and Peggs of Warwick.
Take your mark.
3 women under 33 seconds in heat number 6. Porter, Sale and Pearson, the fastest of which Porter 32.79, 100th ahead of Millie Sale. Just through her right hand side in lane number 4. But keep your eye, look at this, lane number 7, Georgie Pryor of Nottingham Trent, absolutely storming through the first 30 metres, and she's never going to get caught. That's an incredible lead through 50 metres, my goodness me. 31.46, incredible time. 33.55 Sophie Peggs and Lucy Pearson 33.56. Good times in themselves, but nowhere near Pryor over in lane number 7. And the final heat, heat number 7, Garland of Bournemouth in the near side, Palmer of Hertfordshire, Telford of Birmingham, Rudin of Sheffield, Neal of East Anglia, Blades of Cardiff, Kirk of Cambridge, Brown of Hertfordshire, Zolakowski of Oxford and Brown of Sheffield Hallam.
Take your mark.
So this is our final heat in the women's 50 metre backstroke. 10 heats in total. This is heat 7. We saw heats 8, 9 and 10 a little bit earlier in the morning. First thing we saw, in fact, this morning. And lane number 4 in heat number 7, that is Olivia Neal of East Anglia. Her only challenger, Zolakowski, in lane 8. But she's going to take a comfortable win in the final heat. Neal, 30.84, fastest time so far as well. Zolakowski, 31.8, another cracking time. Rosie Rudin, just 400ths behind her, 31.84. But a full second shy of Olivia Neal in 4, 30.84 to round out the women's 50-metre backstrokes. So back to the men's 50-metre backstroke now. This is event number 204. We're going to see heats numbers 1 to 7. We saw 8, 9 and 10 this morning. And in heat number 1, Chawab Yai of Sunderland in 3, Adam Ashcroft of Chichester in 4, and Aweb Sayab of Sunderland in 5. Quick look at the YouTube chat. Plenty of good luck messages coming in. Go on, Abby from Ali Jones. Come on, Alex from Ekaterina. Come on, Grace from Izzy Price. Beth Palmer's going to smash it, says Jamie Springall. Rion's off for a swim. And Elaine Davis says good luck to all from Aberystwyth, from Peter's mum. And just a slight delay in getting underway with heat number 1 here in the men's 50-metre backstroke. Again, 7 of these to enjoy. Then we move on to the women's 50-metre breaststroke. And then the men's 50-metre breaststroke. Then we've got some butterfly heats. And again, we conclude with the women's and the men's 400-metre individual medleys. And that, of course, being 400 metres, there will be medals presented, or one at least, at the end of this session. And on the YouTube chat, Tasman just throwing in a go Jordan and a go Sheffield. So keep those coming in. I will try and read out as many as possible. I'm also trying to keep my eye on Twitter. Plenty happening there, of course, with the BUCS Nationals hashtag. We've also got plenty of athletics going on as well. Loads going on across Sheffield. And loads to come for the rest of the weekend also. So back to the pool. Heat number 1. Lane number 4, Adam Ashcroft of Chichester. Came in with a 40.51. So he's going to be happy to go under 40 with a 39.87. And then lane 3, Chawab Yai, 49.43. He also beats his entry time. And Aweb Sayab reigns out heat number 1. You see a full complement in the pool from heat number 2 onwards. From the near side, Andrew Mullen, Glasgow, Caledonia, swimming in the S5 category. Then we have Luke Williams of London, Robin Cusack, Southampton, ML Berkey, Hertfordshire, Robert Mills, Kent, Oliver Shenton, Kiel, Ross Acklam, Strathclyde, Josh Carpenter, Lincoln, Jed Campbell, Williams, Brunel, and Johnny Bryant, Hull. Heat number 2 underway, and it's lane number 8 out in front. That's Jed Campbell-Williams of Brunel University. He will take the win. Second place is going to go to lane number 3, ML Berkey, 32.01. And then Luke Williams again on the near side, 32.28. But Campbell-Williams half a second shy of going under 30 seconds. Can anybody in heat number 3 do so? In fact, that time from Campbell-Williams, 5 seconds quicker than his entry time, the man from Brunel. Wonderful swimming. And in heat number 3, we then look from the near side. Danny Ward, Bradford, Henry Port, Gloucester, Dylan Bucock, Bangor, Hugh Jones, Southampton, Callum Gregg, Cardiff, Ellie Smales, Leeds, Beckett, Johnny Day, Bristol, Ben Fryer, East Anglia, Aaron Perry, Manchester, and Peter Davis, Aberystwyth. So heat 3 underway. 2 men come in with 32 seconds dead. That was Callum Gregg and Eli Smales. And Johnny Day of Bristol out in front with Peter Davis and Callum Gregg. On this near side lane 0, Danny Ward involved. It's actually Hugh Jones that gets it on the timing, 31.48. That might be recalculated. I thought Callum Gregg was out in front. Have to wait and see. Danny Ward, 31.81. All times to be confirmed, of course. Keep your eye on the BUCS website if you're just joining us. All the live timings are available. If you just Google BUCS Swimming 2019 into any search engine, you'll jump quite close to where you need to be. You can also see the event schedule for the entire 3 days. Of course, here on the morning of day 2. Fantastic finals yesterday evening if you did join us. This session will end with some medals being won, and then plenty more in the evening session, officially session number 4. So we move on to heat number 4 in event 204. From the near side, Alex Curran, Nottingham Trent, Stuart Eastwood, BUCS, Joe Lynch, Gloucester, Adam Alcock, Salford, Thomas Goff, Chichester, Felix Mayer, St Andrews, Jordan Barnes, Sheffield, Joshua Anorn, Kent, Stephen McQuillan, Liverpool, John Moore, and Mark Affiliate of Leeds, Beckett. Now, I did see a message on the web chat, which is a good luck to all swimmers from Liverpool, John Moore, from Tracy Stockin, and also Lee. Good luck, Aidan, and everyone for London. And back into the pool, lane number 5, Alex Mayer of St Andrews in a little fight tussle with Joe Lynch of Gloucester. Who's going to get it? It does go the way of Mayer, 30.28. And in fact, Joshua Arnone came through in lane number 7, 30.84, ahead of Joe Lynch by 300ths. Felix Mayer, though, lane number 5, taking the win in heat number 4, 30.28. On to heat number 5. From the near side, Ben Rhodes of Salford, Kei-Hang Chen of Kiel, Aidan Coe of London. That was a good message from Lee Apple on the web chat. Adri Belanoff of Leeds, Christian Nell, Manchester, Jack Dorland, Durham, Jack Causton, Sheffield, Tom Harrington, Exeter, Jacob Truman, Marsden of Nottingham, Trent, and Callum Connolly of Durham.
Take your marks.
30 seconds spot on. Christian Nell of Manchester was the entry time, 1800ths behind him, Jack Dorland of Durham. And nobody outside 31.5, so very, very tight on paper. And it's tight in with the pool between Jack Causton and Andrei Bellingoff. It's going to go the way of lane 3, Bellingoff, 29.23, first man under 30 seconds. Jack Causton joins him under 30 seconds, 29.53. Great tussle between those two. Then Kei Hang Cheng at 30.52. But Andrei Bellingoff, 29.23, quickest time so far in these earlier heats. 2 more to come in the men's 50-metre backstroke. In heat 6, from the near side we'll see Alexander Hadley, Liverpool, Chris Redfern, Lancaster, Sam Woodford, Canterbury, Henry Clifford, Exeter, Jack Jackson, Hertfordshire, Devin Kellett, Derby, Charlie Eshelby, York, Jake Williams, East Anglia, Tim Moores, Imperial, and Jonathan Quinn, Aberdeen.
Take your marks.
Heat number 6 of 7, and we do now have entry times under 30 seconds, 4 in fact, 5 even. 29.8 for Jack Jackson of Hertfordshire, Kellett, Eshelby, Clifford and Woodard also under 30 seconds. Woodard by just 100ths, but lane number 9, Jonathan Quinn of Aberdeen, he's out in front in heat number 6, and he will take the win, 29.03. 3 men under 30 seconds. My goodness me, Jonathan Quinn, lane 1. Lane number 9, sorry, the man from Aberdeen. Came in with 30 seconds dead. Almost taken a full second off that entry time. And heat number 7 coming up will be our final heat in this event. Before we move on to the women's 50-metre breaststroke early heats. Competing, Artur Akalenko, King's College, Joe Stott, Leeds, Aidan Berry, Glasgow, Aaron Smith, University West of England, Charlie Finn, Leicester, Matthew Evans, Manchester, Met, Ross Hunter, Imperial, Adam Toy, Surrey, Peter Schlitter, York, and Ben Strover, Bournemouth. Every single entry time under 30 seconds.
Take your marks.
Good start from lane 1, Joe Stott of Leeds. Lanes 3 and 5, Smith and Evans. Involved with lane 7, Adam Toy. Lane number 3, Aaron Smith, University West of England. Can he take the win in the final heat? Heat number 7, he does indeed. Time is 28.37. First man in these first 7 heats under 29 seconds. Evans also goes under 29, as does Adam Toy. Very tight indeed. But Aaron Smith, wonderful win in heat number 7 from lane 3, 28.37. For our next event, we go back to the women's, the 50-metre breaststroke. Seven heats again in total. Heat number one. Three athletes, Lauren Chapman of Chichester in three, Georgina Fletcher, Liverpool John Moore in four, and Hannah Eckel, Leicester in five. On the YouTube chat, George Williams very happy for Johnny. Tasmin says, well done, Jordan and the Sheffield swimmers. And now, event 205, heat number one, the women's 50-metre breaststroke.
Take your mark.
Georgina Fletcher, Liverpool John Moore, 50 seconds flat coming in. Hannah Eckel, 53.24. And Lauren Chapman, 105.05. Again, 7 heats coming up. We saw heats 8, 9 and 10 first thing this morning, or earlier this morning. So Georgina Fletcher and Hannah Eckel pretty tight into the final few metres. It will go the way of Fletcher, 48.23. Hannah Eckel joins her under 50 seconds. So they've both beaten entry times here in heat number one. And Lauren Chapman, a 105 entry. She's going to be just outside that, 105.26. 19 hundredths outside the entry time. And on to heat number two. From the near side, Amy Aston, Northampton, Lizzie Kenyon, Chichester, Varvara Sofu of Imperial, Jay Weston, London, Orla Duffy, Lancaster, Rebecca Johnson, Kent, Hannah Costello, Sunderland, Lauren Meave, Bedfordshire, and Helena Phillips, Coventry.
Take your mark.
Here we go then with heat number two. Orla Duffy of Lancaster, 42.89. Quickest coming in. A fairly tight spread across the pool, only 48 seconds with Helena Phillips and Amy Aston. Lane number 6, Hannah Costello of Sunderland. Already with a good lead into the final 10 metres. And into the final 5. She will take the win. Second is going to be somewhere between 4 and 8. Duffy and Phillips. Does go the way of Duffy, just ahead of Phillips by half a second. But Hannah Costello, 42 seconds on the baton. 43.87 her entry time, so 1.87 seconds better. The lady from Sunderland in heat number 2. And move on to heat number 3. From the near side, we will have Carlotta Femontes of De Montfort, Lauren Averill, Bradford. Anna Shepherd, Northampton. Beth Watmore, Winchester. Leah Sinnott, Cardiff. Georgia Free, Edge Hill. Evelyn Gardner, Southampton. Rebecca Bamber of Hull. Elise McCusker of Bournemouth. And in 9, Leicester, represented by Elena Morton.
Please go now.
4 times in the 40-second bracket for this one. Quickest of which, Leah Sinnott, Cardiff, 40.5. 100th ahead of Georgia Free of Edge Hill. But not the best start at all by Leah Sinnott. Lane number 7, Rebecca Bamber of Hull. And 0, Carlotta Femontes of De Montfort. It looks like it's going to be lane 0 for the win in heat number 3. What's the time going to be? She does take it 40.34. So almost 2 seconds ahead of her entry time of 42.15. Watmore takes second, 41.19. And Rebecca Bamber in lane number 7, 41.78. But a 40.34 in lane 0 for Carlotta Femontes. On to heat number 4. From 0, Bethany Elmer of Kent, Nicole Mackenzie of Southampton, Emily Jels of Durham, Sophie Lawson of Lincoln, Rebecca Lockett, Sheffield Hallam, Katie Gillies, Aberdeen, Lydia Bingham, AUB, Megan Sayek Cheng of King's College, Amy Clark of Hertfordshire, and Anne-Marie Smith of Portsmouth. And a shout on the chat from George Williams, come on Kate, let's have a big swim while she's going in lane number 5. And it's very tight between her, Lydia Bingham, and also Amy Clark of Hertfordshire. It's going to be going somewhere between those 3 lanes. Can Katie Gillies get it? She does, and it goes to Amy Clark in lane number 8, 38.4, 900ths behind is Gillies in 5, and then Lydia Bingham 38.67, so very, very tight for the top 3. Amy Clark coming out on top, 38.4. On to heat number 5.
Please go now.
Eleanor Calcutt of Durham, Ellie MacDonald, Exeter, Kirsten Young, Edge Hill, Scarlett Tang, Kiel, Jenny Ballinger, Liverpool, John Moore, Sophie Bunker, Sheffield, Jodie Alder, York, Helena Walker, Salford, Andrea So, University College, London, and Olivia Beavers of Kiel. All times now well under 40 seconds on the entries. Fastest 37.03. Liverpool John Moores, Jenny Ballinger. But it's Jodie Alder of York with a sizable lead in terms of 50-metre swimming into the final 10. And she'll take a comfortable win here. 36.32. That's a cracking time from lane 6. 36.5 was the entry time, so just breaking that, Jodie Alder. Second place going to the near side, Eleanor Calcutt, 38.13. 1600ths ahead of Helena Walker. But Jodie Alder, 36.32 in heat number 5. And on to heat 6. Flying through these heats, aren't we? On the near side, Ellen Morley, Sheffield Hallam. Megan Jones of Lancaster. Catherine Brown, Hertfordshire. Inez Griffin at Cardiff Met, Eleanor Griffin York, Hannah Reid Cardiff Met, Amber Alford Bangor, Alicia Crooks St Andrews, Carla Brawley West of Scotland, and Coco Long of Bradford.
Take your mark.
So just one heat to go after this one, 6 of 7 in event number 205. 36.23 from Eleanor Griffin, the fastest coming into this one. She does lead in the pool as well, not as big a lead as we saw from Jodie Alder in heat number 5, but a lead nonetheless. Amber Alford putting up the hardest fight, but it will go to lane 4. Time is 35.39, first time under 36 seconds we've seen in these earlier heats. Amber Alford does hold on for second, 36.08. And splitting the first and second position is Hannah Reid in lane 5, 36.58. So less than 2/10 separating first to third, but Eleanor Griffin with the win in heat number 6. And our final heat will contain Amy Hutchinson, Strathclyde, Victoria Reid, Glasgow, Natasha Prophet, Bangor, Lily May Walker, Queen Mary, Chelsea Brain of East Anglia, Ellie Ward, Nottingham, Emma Chittlebur, Aberdeen, Charlotte Rowlands, Cambridge, Grace Farr, Leeds Beckett, and Bethany Grant of Bristol. .45.47 of Bayan of East Anglia, 400ths ahead of Nottingham's Ellie Ward, but only 53 hundredths on paper separating the entire pool. So as you can see, you could draw a straight line against 5 of them. Lanes 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is just going to be the scoreboard. Who's going to get it? It does go to lane 5, 35.58 for Ellie Ward. Cracking time. Natasha Prophet 35.61, just 3 hundredths behind. And in third place, Grace Farr 35.76. So those 3 women all under 36 seconds. The win, Ellie Ward 35.58. And it's back to the men now, event number 206. We're going to see heats 1 to 8. We've already seen heats 9, 10, 11 earlier on in the morning. And heat number 1, you're going to have Charles Wright of Salford, Oliver Topman of Canterbury, Alistair McCree of Glasgow, Caledonia, and Joshua Devine. Another chap from Canterbury, so Canterbury teammates in 4 and 6. .40 seconds on the button for Oliver Topman coming in, the man from Canterbury. 41.21. Alistair McCrae of Glasgow. 42 seconds, Charles Wright of Salford. And a 1:13 from Joshua Devine in lane 6. So Joshua Devine out in front, they're neck and neck between McCrae, Topman and Wright. Devine in the white cap of Canterbury, his teammate is in lane number 4. But Devine will take the win in this heat, 37.53. Then very tight, it's a teammate 1-2, Oliver Topman 41.89. And then McCrae and Wright separated by 2 hundredths. 37.53 for Devine. And heat number 2, full complement in the pool. Gianna Erst of Bangor, Adam Ashcroft, Chichester, Andrew Ferns, Liverpool, John Moore, Ryan Baker, Durham, Adam Sales, Winchester, Toby Sanderson, Brunel, Benjamin Purcell, Newcastle, Charles Cracknell, Kent, Tim Davis, Nottingham, Trent, and Matthew Johnson, Hull. So a cracking start from Benjamin Purcell of Newcastle in lane 6. Absolutely flying through the first 25-30 metres. And this is an incredibly comfortable win over 50 metres. Time is going to be, can he get under 30? No, 31.25. And then come the remainder of the pool, somewhere between Baker and Cracknell. Baker gets it at 36.73, Cracknell 36.88. But look at the difference there. Second place, 36.73. First place, Benjamin Purcell, 31.25. Purcell's entry time, 38 seconds. Huge difference, and we'll move on to heat number 3. Again, 8 heats. We will fly through them. Taking part in heat 3 of Salford, Anthony Mamone, Manchester's Matthew Quinn, Bradford's Jamie Sanchez, Glasgow's Gonzalo Rivero, York's Matt Anthony, Liverpool's Llewellyn Wake, Glasgow's Alexi Lindo, Bournemouth's Sam Gray, Keel's Caton Gurn, and Surrey's Elliot Stevenson. And again here in heat number 3, we look towards lane number 6. This time it's Alexi Lindo of Glasgow. Got a competitor in 9, Elliot Stevens of Surrey. But it's going to be the second win in a row from lane number 6. This time in heat number 3, time is 32.98. Stevenson on the far side in a 33.92. And Sam Gray, 35.81. So again, a big jump from the winner to the top 3 time, 32.98 coming courtesy of Alexi Lindo. And on to heat number 4, Laith Raja Al-Fouk of Kent, Oliver Ross, Bristol, Tom Buckle, Nottingham, Trent, Connor Spicer, Kiel, Daniel Jones, Liverpool, John Moore, Henry Butler, Leicester, teammate Harry Faulkner next to him, Ben Fryer of East Anglia, Henry Porter of Gloucester, and Sam Owen, Exeter. 34.1 coming courtesy of Daniel Jones, Liverpool, John Moore. 200s behind him, Leicester's Henry Butler. And it is Butler of Leicester who takes the advantage at the halfway stage. Leaving Jones behind, the fastest 2 men in the pool. And it's going to be a win for Leicester's Butler. Second will be tight, 33.73 from Butler. Oliver Ross takes second, 34.82. Just 3/10 ahead of Ben Fryer. And in fact, the fastest man on paper, Daniel Jones, rounding out the pool. But Henry Butler in lane number 5, 33.73 for the win in heat number 4. And underway shortly with heat number 5. Jamie Whitefield of Coventry, Timur Aiden of Portsmouth, Julian Buzid of Queen Mary, Jamie Rogers Liverpool, Ryan Lamprell Southampton, teammate Thomas Williams next to him in 5, Devin Kellett of Derby, Exeter's Seb Williams, Bangor's Ezra Dunford and Manchester's Liam Wicks. 33.3 the time for Southampton's Ryan Lamprell. 1/10 behind him is teammate Thomas Williams, and another 10th back to both Jamie Rogers and Julian Buzid. But it's in fact Seb Williams little tussle with Timur Aiden in 1, but none of the top 4 lanes or central 4 lanes and again in the top 2, because Seb Williams takes it at 32.22. That's a surprise. Timur Aiden 33.02, and then comes Ryan Lamprell 33.56. But all credit there to lane number 7, Seb Williams 32.22, the man from Exeter. And now on to heat number 6. Sean Davies of Lancaster, Carlos Toredo Goutier of Manchester, Manson Mark of King's College, Luke Timbrell Hertfordshire, Thomas Arkle East Anglia, Matthew Martin Lancaster, Cameron Walker York, Connor Sharple Sheffield, Danny Pirret University West of England and Jacob Brazier Chichester. Good start from Sean Davies on this very near side, but already very tight across the pool. The tightest we've seen, in fact, for a few heats now. We've seen someone out in front with 25 to go early on, but not so in heat number 6. Very tight indeed. I'm keeping my eye on lane 2, Manson Mack of King's College, at a storming final 15 metres. My goodness. And he takes it at 31.88. Thomas Arkle in 4, 32.48. And then on to lane 6, Cameron Walker, 32.53. So 500 separating Arkle and Walker, but the win, 31.88. Coming from lane 2, Manson Mack from King's College. And lane, or heat number 7 even, taking part, Callum Gorman Leeds, Max Friedman Portsmouth, Mitchell Coombs Royal Holloway, Hugh Brown Cardiff, Adam Paul Lincoln, Adam Bagley Oxford, Joe Stott Leeds, Ross Hunter Imperial College, Jeremy Knuckles Surrey and Jamie Kettle Warwick. 31.8 for Lincoln's Adam Poole coming in, 100th behind him Adam Bagley of Oxford, 100th behind him Hugh Brown of Cardiff. So ridiculously tight on the entry times, but again it's going away from the centre. This time it's lane 1, Max Friedman of Portsmouth in a battle with Jeremy Knuckles in lane 8. Friedman takes it 30.75, quickest time so far in these first 6 or 7 heats. Jeremy Knuckles does finish up second, 31.22, and then comes Adam Bagley in the centre, 31.73, but he's almost a full second behind Max Friedman in lane number 1. And now on to our final heat in the men's 50-metre breaststroke. Finals later on today, but in heat number 8, David Anderson of Cardiff, Gabriel Conge of Anglia Ruskin, Joseph McLean Bournemouth, Ben Lawton Durham, David Miller Bath, Strawn Stewart Strathclyde, Uktu Khan Boskurt of Arts College Bournemouth, Finlay Ryan of Sheffield Hallam, Lewis Bailey or Robert Gordon and Daniel Pearson Royal Holloway. So neck and neck over the 4 central lanes in this final heat, heat number 8 of the men's 50-metre breaststroke. Finlay Ryan maybe with half a fingertip out in front, or is David Miller of Bath in 4 going to grab it right at the end? No, it does go the way of Ryan, 31.08, then Miller 31.43, so in fact 3,500 separating them. Toucan Boska 31.52. Very tight, 31.8, 31.91. Probably the tightest heat we've so far of the entire 8. But the win going the way, 31.08 Finlay Ryan in lane number 7. And now we'll go back to the women. And this time for the early heats in the 100 metre butterfly. We'll have 4 heats in this one. And in heat number 1, Amy Borsuk, Queen Mary, Rebecca Romain, Aberystwyth, Maria Carolina Magela of Queen Mary, Lucy G of Kent, Katie Maloney, Lincoln, Alice Vercatterson of Durham, and Robin Grant of Kent. First heat of 4. So early advantage in lane number 5 from Katie Maloney of Lincoln. Come in with a 1:19. Lucy G came in with the fastest time, 1:18.44. But it's a good few body length lead here in heat number 1 of the 100 metre butterfly for the women. And that is a comfortable victory in heat number 1 for Katie Maloney. A 1:10.31, so 9 seconds quicker than the entry. To her left-hand side, Lucy G will take up second place in heat 1. And then in lane 3, Maria Carolina Magdalena just out-touches Venkatesan. And on to heat number 2. Akemi Ramos of Manchester, Chloe Gambrill of Chichester, Millie Cobley, Liverpool, John Moore, Megan Armitage, Leicester, Lauren Buckley, Lancaster, Lauren Barraclough, Liverpool, Ella Stilwell, Southampton, Alexandra Dolan of Cardiff, Olivia Dickinson of Manchester, and Robin Saunders of Liverpool. So Lauren Buckley of Lancaster, a 1:11.2 fastest entry time. A little bit slower than the winning time, of course, in heat number 1. And she does have the early lead as well, Buckley. Barraclough in 5 doesn't join us from Liverpool, of course, as you can see. So her closest challenger will be Megan Armitage in lane 3 on paper. And it is so just a 10th separating them, then 0.55 back to Saunders. So Saunders in lane 9. Swimming on her own pretty much, nobody in 8. And the side of her pool to her right-hand side. And Megan Armitage of Leicester, it's going to be neck and neck right into the final 5 metres, her and Robin Saunders. As Armitage just got the advantage, the woman from Leicester. Keep your eye on the scoreboard, and it's coming up. It is indeed Armitage, 1:11.77. 300ths of a second in the end ahead of Saunders. Lauren Buckley, a 1:13.09. But a great 100 metre heat number 2 for the women's butterfly. Win coming courtesy of Megan Armitage of Leicester, 1:11.77. And heat number 3 of 4, Laura Reid of Oxford, Megan Cook of Bangor, Gabriella Davey of Lincoln, Rusha Mondal of King's College, Catherine Proctor of Durham, Ellie Williams, Exeter, Maisie Chung of York, Abigail Proctor of Sheffield, Megan Mann, Newcastle, and Hannah Clay leads Beckett. Four entry times under 1:10. They come from Rusha Mondal, Catherine Proctor, Ellie Williams and Maisie Chung, fastest of which lane 4's Proctor 109.32. But Proctor currently sitting 6th at the halfway stage. Chung in the lead, 0.36 ahead of Davey, 0.7 back to Clay, 100th again back to Mann. So 4 of them within half a second of each other, but it's Chung of York and Hannah Clay of Leeds Beckett. They're clearly now the two leaders. In lane 2, Gabriella Davey of Lincoln trying to pull something back over the last 15, but it looks to be going the way of Hannah Clay in 9. Can Chung do anything over the last few metres? She can't. It's a 1:10.86 for Clay. Maisie Chung second in 1:12.03. Gabriella Davey 1:12.54. But a good win on the far side, outside lane. Hannah Clay 1:10.86 here in heat number 3. Again, we're in event number 207. One heat to come. Then we move on to the men's version. But back to the final heats from the near side. Riley Flick of St Andrews, Lily O'Brien leads, Sophia Corella of Warwick, Amy Richardson Edgehill, Lizzie Warnes of Surrey, Caitlin Slater Glasgow, Megan Peary East Anglia, Ottie Marsden of Aberdeen, Lauren Palmer-Jones of York and Chloe Plater of Cardiff. Down to the 107s on the entry, 107.41 from Lizzie Warnes, representing Surrey in lane number 4. 107.53, so just 12 hundredths behind is Caitlin Slater of Glasgow in lane 5. At the halfway stage, is it lane 3? Richardson out in front, it is indeed. Then Warnes, then Corella, then O'Brien. 6 within 1 second at the halfway stage. Richardson of Edgehill and Palmer-Jones now in lane 8. She's taken a charge over the far side 5 lanes. In lane 1, Lily O'Brien. In 3, Amy Richardson. And in 8, Lauren Palmer-Jones. And it's taken from lane 1, Lily O'Brien, 107.65. Then Amy Richardson in lane 3, 108.19. And then we come with Lauren Palmer-Jones, 109 on the button. But a 107.65 to round out the heats here in event 207, the women's 100-metre butterfly. So a fantastic morning here in Ponds Forge, Sheffield, the International Sports Centre. Plenty of action going on across the BUCS. All sports this afternoon and the entire weekend, of course. Plenty of athletics are going on. We've got badminton going on. You can stream them all online. Everything's available to you. And we're going to move on here at poolside to event number 208. This is the men's 100-metre butterfly. Going to see 7 heats in this one. In heat number 1, Matteo Rosavio of Bradford, Aaron Maddox of Swansea swimming in the S8 category, and Jacob Evans of Liverpool, John Moore. 7 heats to come. So halfway stage, Rosavio 30.22, 1.3 ahead of Evans, and Maddox just 4.51 behind. In this 100th year of British University Sport, so a fairly significant year in the history of BUCS. A pleasure to have Adam Peaty in the pool earlier this morning, but here in Heat 1, Rosavio will take it, 108.74. Just 6/10 ahead of Jacob Evans and Aaron Maddox in the S8 from Swansea. He'll round out Heat 1 with a 1:17.59. On to Heat number 2. From this near side, Joshua Monaghan Coombs of Bath. Kane Smith, University West of England. Alexander Cragg, Kent. Killian Courtney, Liverpool. Oliver Carter Sterling swimming in the S10 category. Should have said Joshua Monaghan Coombs also in the S9 category. He's in lane 0. Ben Williams in 5 of Cardiff. In 6, Alex Harrigan of Leicester. Ben Reid of St Andrews in 7. And in 8, Kent's Benedict van der Schaal. Quickest time on paper, 106.84. That's Oliver Carter in 4. And just 3 seconds separating the entire pool on the entry times. I just want to catch up with the YouTube chat messages leaving behind. Jeanette says go Ben. JW shouting for Newcastle. Go Derby, says Kenny. Tom Williams, come on Bangor. Let's go Otti from George Williams. Go Michael Doyle for Bangor in heat number 3. So he's coming up shortly. Bravo Matteo, says Gertruda. And Tom Williams, let's go Ben. But it's lane number 7, Ben Reid. Not sure which Ben you're shouting for, Tom. But Ben's going to win this one. Ben Reid of St Andrews. And lane 2, Alexander Cragg is going to come round for second, but a 101.81 from Ben Reid. Cragg a 107.11. So just over 6 seconds behind between first and second place. Oliver Carter a 107.13. In fact, 4 times in the 107s. But everybody 6 seconds behind Ben Reid in lane number 7, 101.81. And just to confirm, Tom was shouting for the Ben from Cardiff. And we move on to heat number 3. Where you're going to see John Law of Stirling in the S13 category. Jonathan Booth representing British swimming in the S9 category. Then Dan Prosser, Chichester. Hugh Brown, Cardiff. Callum McHenry, Bristol. Michael Doyle, Bangor. John McCavitt, Bangor. Yuansheng Zhang, London. Christopher Nielsen, Bournemouth. And Lachlan Caulfield of St Andrews. Just waiting for the pool to clear. Again, 7 heats in this one. Heat number 3 currently. Event number 208, the men's 100 metre butterfly. Callum McHenry from Bristol, a 103.59 entry. 104 on the button from Michael Doyle and Hugh Brown. So Kath Kynaston, excited to see Michael Doyle here, lane number 5 in heat 3. But it's Callum McHenry of Bristol that's had a cracking start. As has Yang Sao Zheng of London in Southern. Just 2 seconds separating the entire pool on the entries. So Bangor teammates in 5 and 6. So Callum McHenry, the fastest man on paper. But it's Zhang who takes the advantage. 27.5 at the halfway stage. 0.8 back to McHenry. 145 back again. I don't think anybody's going to catch Zhang in lane number 7. Very tight indeed. Lane number 4, Callum McHenry, the very early leader, trailing behind by a few metres or so. Then lane 6, John McCavitt of Bangor, 28.95 at the turn, but the win will go to lane number 7. That's Zheng. McHenry comes home in second place. And then John McCavitt, 105.07. So ignore the 1 next to Callum McHenry. That's a 2 next to McHenry. Zhang over in lane number 7, a 59.58. Only man under 1 minute in all of the heats so far. Of course, 4 more to come after this one. But that is over 5 seconds off of Zhang's entry time into the heat. So cracking swim for him. We move on to heat number 4. Joshua Bibby, Royal Holloway, Jordan Barnes, Sheffield, Alex Rosser of Swansea swimming in the S14 category, Dominic Johnson, Lancaster, William Butcher, Leicester, Ben Perkins, Brunel, Hannibal Gaskin, Exeter, Lucas Lowry, Sunderland, Gareth Allen, Leeds, and Christopher Yeng, Imperial. (102.36) Leicester's William Butcher. 1400s ahead of Brunel's Ben Perkins. And then just 200s back to Dominic Johnson. Over in lane number 7, Lucas Lowry, cracking first 50. As has Dominic Johnson. 28.18. Lowry and Perkins both 1600s back. Yeng and Gaskin both 0.71 back. You won't see that too often. Thank goodness this isn't for medals in this one. That will come later on today. And now in lane 3, Dominic Johnson piling the pressure on into the final 10 metres. Tight behind him, lane 4, William Butcher, the closest to him, but lane 3 will take it. Dominic Johnson a 1 minute 0.99, and Butcher to his right hand side 102.82, and Gareth Allen on the far side 103.23. So Dominic Johnson under the 101, but only one man so far under 1 minute. Can anybody repeat that in heat number 5? And into heat number 5 from the near side, Thomas Boyd, Northampton, Alex Rogers, Portsmouth, Matt Gredanus, Birmingham, Scott Barnett, Warwick, Caleb Mackey, Portsmouth, Matt Savitt, Southampton, Dan Wheeler, Leeds, Beckett, Sam Woodard, Canterbury, Daniel Schindler, University College, London, and Constantine Capendanzi of Bournemouth in 9. So a lead for lane 2 in the opening 50, that's Gredainus, 26.82. A full second ahead of Boyd, Barnett, Schindler, Wheeler, Rogers and Mackey. And that's a sizable lead through 75 metres, tough to catch. Schindler, University College London in 8, closest man to him, but still not close enough with 10 metres to go. Entry time for a Gredainus of 1:01.68. He's going to be the first man under 1 minute, surely. I'm certain he was. Just waiting for the times to come up. Schindler comes in with a 1:01.18. Gredainus is a 58.28 for Gredainus. Cracking time. Daniel Schindler second, ignore the 1:01.18. And then Dan Wheeler in third place, a 1:02.05. But Gredainus, first man under a minute, coming from lane number 2. The man from Birmingham. And on to heat number 6. From lane 0, Afrosonic Marisa of Manchester Met, William Metcalf Hertfordshire, AJ Wood of Salford, Carl Smith Lancaster, Maxim Tidmarsh Newcastle, Adam Poole Lincoln, Martin Papagisu of Sunderland, Anthony Bukakov of London, Stuart Leonard of Strathclyde and Oliver Newton Cardiff Met. So Maxim Tidmarsh, Adam Poole and Carl Smith all coming in with 1 minute on the button on the entry times. A 1:05 from Papakrishu. As with AJ Wood, also a 1:05. Between lanes 1 and 3, or 3 and 9, sorry. 27.64 for Smith. Poole plus 0.09. Quarter of a second back to Newton. So Tidmarsh from Newcastle, struggling to compete here in heat number 6 at the moment. Have to do something pretty special over the last 15 metres. Lane number 9, Oliver Newton, in a fight here with lane number 1, William Metcalf. Or will it come back to lane number 3, Carl Smith? My goodness, Metcalf gets it, 1:01. Carl Smith, 1:022. And AJ Wood, 0:29. So 2,800 separating the top 3. All of them just outside the minute mark. Metcalf by just 1/100th. And now on to our final heat, heat number 7. Sean Quinn of Liverpool, Jake Thomas Mansfield, Birmingham, Miles Clark, Oxford, Andreas Avram, Southampton, Luke Smith, Leeds, Jacob Ward, Bristol, Theo Cannon, Cambridge, Brandon Chan, Warwick, Alex Lezard, Cambridge, and Ian Fletcher, Durham. Every entry time under 1 minute. Fastest, 58.85, Leeds, Luke Smith. 58.95, Bristol's Jacob Ward. But it's Theo Cannon with the early advantage. 50 metres, that's one of the biggest leads we've seen thus far. 0.76 of a second, doesn't sound a lot, but as you can see in the pool, it's nigh on a body length. Then 0.88 back to Avram, a full second to Fletcher. So the man from Cambridge, Theo Cannon, maintaining that lead with 15 to go. It's not being eaten into whatsoever, not being stretched either, just maintaining that body length lead. Luke Smith and Jacob Ward, and Andres Avram the closest to him, but it's going to be a win for Cannon. 58.01, 4 men under a minute. Luke Smith is 59.28, Jake Thomas Mansfield 59.48, and then 200s back Andreas Avram. He looked to be in second place for the second 50 right until the final 10, but Theo Cannon 58.01. Here in heat number 7. Event number 208, the men's 100-metre butterfly. And now we move on to event number 209. Our final two events of the morning session is going to be two heats, and both the women's and then the men's. In fact, three heats in the men's, the final heat of which will be effectively our final, where the medals will be distributed. So heat number one, event 209, the women's 400 metre individual medley. In one Grace Litchfield of Sheffield Hallam, in two Hayley Briggs Royal Holloway, Danielle Rayner in three of Stirling, Millie Emmons of Surrey in four, Spencer Williams Oxford in five, Hannah Rowe Kiel in six, and Lucy Galopper King's College in Southern. 5:11.93, fastest entry from Millie Emmons of Surrey. 2 seconds back then to Williams and Rayner to her left and right. So through the 1:50 mark, Rayner 1:49.13, 2.5 seconds ahead of Spencer Williams of Oxford in five. Rayner's entry time of 5:13.77, remember. A couple of seconds behind Millie Emmons of Surrey. And it's going to be a good halfway lead as they enter the butterfly leg. Breaststroke leg even, but maintaining that advantage. Into lane 5, Spencer Williams, and then it's Millie Emmons. Slight stretch back to Hannah Rowe in 6. So what's the lead now? Through 2:50, it was around about 4.5 seconds. It's now up to 7.43, so it's growing. So again, two heats in event number 209. This is heat 1, of course, and heat 2 will be our timed final, where we'll distribute gold, silver and bronze medals. And the gap from Rayner back to Emmons maybe just been shortened ever so slightly. So just come down to this final 100 metre freestyle leg, and it is down to 3.62, so 4 seconds Emmons has caught back on Rayner over that third 100 metres. And now we wait and see who's got the strongest freestyle leg. And it does seem to be closing again still, so it's just between these two now here in heat number 1. And with 50 to go, it could even be Emmons with the lead. It will be. So she's turned a 7-second disadvantage 100 metres ago into almost a 2-second advantage. And you'd expect this only to grow and grow, and it has. She's already pulled out 5 metres with 25 to go. So fantastic second half of this race for Millie Emmons. Early leader Danielle Rayner got that lead up to 7 seconds. And she may not even be within 7 seconds of Emmons when they finally hit the wall. Emmons hits first a 5:12.14. 5:11.93 was the entry time. And it is 9.5 seconds back to Rayner. Spencer Williams almost caught Rayner, in fact, in that final 50 metres. And good support from full side we've had all day. Just waiting for these remaining competitors. Again, Millie Emmons a 5:12.14. A second outside the entry time, but nevertheless enough for a 9-second win here in heat number 1. Spencer Williams nearly caught Rayner right at the end. Hannah Rowe coming in a 5:37. Again, the win to Emmons, the lady from Surrey, here in heat number 1. And we move on to heat number 2. Our timed final, so gold, silver and bronze up for grabs, fighting for those medals. From the near side, Alex Stringer of Manchester Met, Helena Morris, Birmingham, Molly Wright, Nottingham Trent, Candice Hall, Loughborough, teammate Abby Wood of Loughborough, Amber Keegan, Sheffield, Manchester Mets, Emma Day in 6, Rosie Foden of Bath in 7, Katie Taylor, Strathclyde in 8, and Amy Farthing of Swansea in 9. On paper, 4:38.5 from Abby Wood of Loughborough. And then a 4:45, Amber Keegan of Sheffield. And then Wood's Loughborough teammate Candice Hall in lane 3, a 4:48. They're the fastest 3 coming in. Fastest through 50 metres, Candice Hall, 29.67. So Candice Hall maintaining that lead, however small, through 150. She's led at 50 metre, 100 metre, 150 metres. And Amber Wood in lane 4. Teammates neck and neck. And approaching the halfway stage. As they just come past myself now, it does look like Abby Wood and it is just, I mean, it's 0.19 back to Hall now. 2.65 back to Keegan. Then you go 6 and 7 beyond today and Moringa. Now on the breaststroke leg. Abby Wood just taking a few more metres off of Amber Keegan in 5. So the lead now turned it round to a 2.3 second advantage over Candice Hall. 4.8 back to Keegan, 8.6 back to Day. And Hall now has to keep her eye on Amber Keegan in 5. That's getting a little close, a bit too close for comfort now. While Wood continues to stretch out that lead, it's almost up to 3 body lengths, 5 or 6 metres. And into the 4th and final freestyle leg. She's going to take advantage of around about 5 or 6 seconds. It's grown and grown and grown over the last 100 metres. It is 5.48 seconds. Then another 2 back to Keegan. And at the moment, it's really just these 3 in the race for the medals. Of course, Abby Wood streaking away towards the gon. She's got about 60 metres to go to claim that gold. And the silver and bronze is a fight between Hall and Keegan. Currently Hall with the advantage. So 4:13 with 50 to go for Wood. Going to be a processional last 50 towards the gold medal. Hall is plus 6.66, 2 seconds back again, then to Keegan. But it's been a wonderful swim for Loughborough. They're going to take the gold. They could also take a silver. There's going to be 2 medals. I'm not sure of the colour of the second one right at the minute, because Keegan is coming back from Sheffield. But Abby Wood take the gold for Loughborough, 4:46. Can her teammate Candice Hall hang on in the final few stages? She does indeed, a 4:54. And it's just half a second ahead of Amber Keegan, who takes the bronze. But a cracking race for Loughborough. Abby Wood gold, 4:46.55. Candice Hall the silver. Eventually almost 8 seconds behind after taking the early lead through the first 150 metres. And then Amber Keegan, a 4:55, good enough for the bronze medal in the women's 400 metre individual medley. And after the women, it's now time for the men's. This is our final event of the morning session here on Saturday. There's going to be 3 heats. Heat number 3 is where we will distribute those medals before we go into a break before the afternoon session. But here in heat number 1, Jack Newton of York, Scott Barnett of Warwick, and Charlie Madden of Kiel. Event number 210, men's 400 metre individual medleys heat 1, final event of session number 2. So incredibly tight through the first 100, Newton, Barnett and Madden. 1.08 separating them in the pool. Entry times, Barnett was a 4.59, Madden was a 5.08, Newton was a 5.15. Almost less than 15 centimetres separating them as we approach 150. And now into the final 100. Here in heat number one, it's still fairly tight. I mean, after 100 metres, it was neck and neck, and still not a lot to separate them, especially with 100 metres to go. But it is lane 4, Scott Barnett of Warwick, a 3:55.84 with 100 to go. Just shy of 2 seconds ahead of Charlie Madden. And then Jack Newton of York, a little bit of work to do. But Barnett will turn with 50 to go. And what's the lead grown out to? It was around 2 seconds. It's 3.16 now back to Madden. Now into the final 25. Barnett will maintain that lead. He's gained from 3.2 seconds. It may have grown slightly. And Barnett in 4 will take heat number 1. Charlie Madden of Kiel will stroll in by his side in a 5:12.03. 5:07 the winning time from Barnett, a 0.45. And then Jack Newton a 5:20.95 to round out heat number 1. And now on to heat number 2 of 3. From the near side in 1, Marcus Birmingham of Birmingham. David Broadbent, Sheffield, Hallam, Samuel Naylor, Newcastle. Birmingham's Will Slawson in 4. Nottingham teammates in 5 and 6, Michael Rees and Aaron Priest. Tom Smith of Sheffield, Hallam in 7 and Matthew Johnson, Oxford in 8. word on the entry times. Will Slawson of Birmingham 4:36.34. And a 4:38 for Nottingham's Michael Rees. 4:44 Samuel Naylor of Newcastle. Pretty tight through 150. Rees and Slawson just over half a second separating. Back to Broadbent, just shy of 2 seconds. Naylor 3.78, Birmingham 5. Slawson and Rees, the man from Birmingham and Nottingham. At the advantage over Broadbent and Naylor. Seem to be swimming in pairs at the minute. Over that fourth 50, Michael Rees of Nottingham creating an advantage of 4.4 seconds now. That's grown a fair bit, almost doubled over those 50 metres. Onto the breaststroke leg. Naylor and Broadbent continue to swim side by side. Then you go back to Birmingham in 1. And over the first 50 of this breaststroke leg, the gap of 4 seconds has certainly shortened. In fact, just less than 2 now. Rees back to Slawson. So we know who's got the better breaststroke, but it's going to come down to who's, of course, got the better freestyle, the fourth and final leg. And that lead's actually been overturned. 0.59 advantage now for Rees over Slawson. Rees behind Slawson. So it was out to 4 seconds at one point. If we look a little bit further back down the pool, David Broadbent in 2 is the closest to them. But when I say closest, it's still some margin. It's still 15 plus metres. And now just 4/100 separating Slawson and Rees. So this is a real race to the finish line over the final 30. And neither man making an advantage. Coming up to the 15-metre red marker. Is Slawson just putting an arm length out in front. I think over these last 5 metres may have just done it for him, Slawson. He does indeed. 4:36.44. 5/10 ahead of Rees to his side. Rees had the early lead as well. Got his lead up to around about 4 seconds at the halfway stage. But then the breaststroke and the freestyle legs. Slawson came through. Broadbent will take third, a 4:52. A good 16 seconds behind the leader's mine. Again, heat 2 going the way of Slawson. the man from Birmingham. 4:36.44. And we're now going to move on, of course, in a few seconds to our third and final leg as we just round out the heat. And this is a medal race. And of course, also the final race of this morning session. I say morning, now into 12:15, started at 9 a.m. sharp this morning. So again, heat number 3 of event 210, the men's 400 metre individual medley from the near side. Harry Lewis Mitchell of Edinburgh, James Brown Loughborough, Thomas Tsitsipanis of Edinburgh, Jacob Greenough of Bath, Joe Litchfield, British swimming, Thomas Dean Bath, Callum Laurie Stirling, Duncan Scott Stirling, Nathan Wells Loughborough and Oliver O'Halloran at Newcastle. So cracking opening 100 metres on the butterfly from Duncan Scott of Stirling. Almost a 2-second advantage over Greenough, almost 3 seconds over Wells and +3 over Dean, Litchfield, Brown and Halloran. As we move on to the backstroke. And Jacob Greenough is the man doing his best to, or doing the best to chase down Wells. Or Scott even from Stirling. He'll turn still with an advantage. It was just shy of 2. It's gone beyond 2. It's 2.13 for Scott now. Still ahead of Greenough, Litchfield and Dean. And another 2.5 second jump. But Duncan Scott of Stirling led through 100 metres. He'll lead through 200 metres. In heat number 2, that didn't mean too much. There was a 4-second advantage through 200, which was overturned between Rees and Slawson, of course. And the lead now 1.71 for Scott. Still Jacob Greenough the closest, but lanes 4 and 5, Joe Litchfield and Thomas Dean just chipping into that advantage. And in fact, by the next turn, this is going to be very tight indeed. If Scott has an advantage at all into the final 150. They're concentrating on him for now. He will take an advantage into the final 150. But again, it's been shortened. Now down to 1.35, 3 men within 2 seconds. Dean and Litchfield. It looks like a 4-man race, but there's only 3 medals up for grabs, so somebody's going to be disappointed at about 125 metres time. And look at this, you could draw a ruler line between the 3 in the centre. Still half a body advantage for Duncan Scott in 7. Remaining athletes in the pool just racing for placing. So through 100, 200 and now 300, Scott still leads, but it's only 1.36 separating the top 4. Who's left some juice in the bank for the final 100. It would be incredible if Scott could maintain this, a gun-to-tape win. Be devastating if he didn't take home at least a medal at the end of this, 50 metres to go. He's led through every single checkpoint thus far. Still leads by 0.08 of a second. Now 2 seconds out to Litchfield, 3 seconds out to Greenough. So the lead of Scott has got shorter and shorter and shorter, down to 0.08 of a second into the final 50. Can Thomas Dean of Bath steal it from him in the final 15 metres? He's got half an arm's advantage. He might do this right to the final 5. He is indeed. Thomas Dean takes it in lane 5, a 4:19.5. Gutting for Scott, but still a silver medal after leading through, 375 metres. Bit of heartbreak. Joe Litchfield third fastest. Joe Litchfield representing British swimming, so not eligible for medal, so that'll go to Jacob Greenow. And Thomas Dean, a 4:19.5. Fantastic heat, fantastic final for the medals to finish off this morning session. Again, silver to Scott, bronze to Greenow. 4:19.5 for Dean. Wonderful, wonderful racing. Hopefully going to see a lot more this afternoon and this evening, and of course tomorrow. We're not even halfway through this championships, the BUCS 2019 Long Course Championships. We're coming to you live from poolside at Ponsford International Sports Centre in Sheffield. It's now time for a break, and we'll see you for the next session. There will be session 3 here on day 2, beginning at 2 p.m.